Now live on Rumble. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to This Day in History. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a technical problem there. Anyway, I am Alexander. You viewer, you. We will be joined by the Golden Noon here shortly. Today is, of course, Thursday, aka Thursday, August 6, 2026. And this show is about interesting and important events that happen today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a heck of a show lined up for you. Look at all these tabs. You know, so quite a bit of things to go through, but
nice.
A little bit of a, on the quote-unquote shorter side, 37 pages on the document today as opposed to 40 or 50 or something, so this used to be on the high end, so it used to. But yeah, anyway, let's get us started. In the year 258, Pope St. Sixtus II was beheaded in Rome under persecutions by Roman Emperor Valerian. So from other sources, it says Pope Sixtus II was arrested while celebrating Mass and then beheaded with several of his deacons. Wow, during Mass, no less.
Wow.
Yikes. 523, Pope Hormisdas' reign as Catholic Pope ended with his death. Well, yes, that usually is the cause of it. I mean, although you can step down, so, that's not unprecedented. Although, it was a shock with Benedict II, or whatever it was, the third?
I don't know.
I don't remember. He was a number. Right. I don't remember what number, though. But the guy who was Pope after John Paul II?
His number is up.
Well, yeah, he's dead now. But, he stepped down.
Yeah.
Yes,
he did.
And, it had been, 300 some odd years or something since the last time, so that's why everybody was so in shock.
Yeah.
But anyway, 695, Maya King Jasa Shan Kawil, the first of Tikal, defeated Yishak Kak, the Claw of Fire, his long-standing rival and king of Kalakamul. Okay. 708, Antipope Constantine II was deposed and blinded by the Lombard troops of Prince Severius Christopher. Interesting name. Blinded, yikes. 1181, we spoke about this yesterday, I think. Supernova SN 1181 in the constellation Cassiopeia was observed by Chinese and Japanese astronomers and is visible for 185 days until February 6th, 1182, the next year. Wow.
We did talk about that.
I thought about that, yeah. So we'll get to that here in a minute, but I just want to look this up here. So here's, of course, the supernova, and this is, I think, what it looks like now. Because, now it's just the gas is dissipating. It's like a very slow motion explosion. A huge explosion. So, kind of reminds me of that one episode of Invader Zim. 1284, the Republic of Pisa was defeated in the Battle of Meloria by the Republic of Genoa, thus losing its naval dominance in the Mediterranean. 1497, Italian explorer John Cabot returned to Bristol from North America, likely Newfoundland, becoming the first European known to do so since the Vikings. Did we talk about that or something, claimed it for the British, or was that the 1500s?
I
or
don't remember.
Yesterday. So.
This is right around the 1500s, so.
Yeah, the article, I think it was 1540, 1550, somewhere in there. Yesterday. Seems like it was a day away. It was.
Wow.
1538, Bogotá, Colombia was founded by Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada. Trying so hard not to say quesadilla. But no, Bogotá, Colombia, we've heard of that.
Sure.
Probably. So, yeah. 1600, Henry IV of France invaded Savoy after negotiations broke down over Saluzzo, which had been under the control of Savoy since 1588, so 12 years. 1661, the Treaty of The Hague was signed under the Dutch Republic, relinquished its claims to Dutch Brazil to Portugal in exchange for the equivalent of 63 metric tons of gold.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a lot of metric tons of gold.
Yeah.
1675, Russian Tsar Alexis banned foreign hairstyles for those below the nobility. What? How ridiculous? I mean, then again, to this day, North Korea has mandatory hairstyles for men and women and all that stuff. They only have one of 3 options whenever they go to the barber. Yeah, kind of weird. 16.
Just do whatever I ask them to do. I don't know about.
Well, no, it's enforced by law. You have to have only one of 3 different types of haircuts.
Really?
Yes. Yes, legitimately. They will beat you and put you into a camp, for contempt of state law. It's North Korea,
Yeah.
Yeah. 1685, King Louis XIV's Code Noir decree regulating slavery in French colonies was first adopted by the Sovereign Council of Martinique. I'm just going to do a surface level scratch of this article really quick because I want to look this up here. Code Noir, all right. give me the link. There we go. Okay. It was a decree passed by King Louis XIV of France in 1685, as we just read, defining the conditions of slavery in the Antilles, then also Louisiana, and served as the code for slavery conduct in the French colonies up until 1789, the year marking the beginning of the French Revolution. This decree restricted the activities of free people of color, mandated conversion to Catholicism for all enslaved people throughout the empire, defined the punishments meted out to them, and ordered the expulsion of all Jews from France's colonies. Yikes. The code had been described by historian of modern France Tyler Stovall as, quote, one of the most extensive and official documents on race, slavery, and freedom ever drawn up in Europe, end quote. Well, the lack thereof of freedom, that was just horrifying. I'm going to start, let's see, Code Noir. Throw this link here. This link and all other links that we gather throughout the show will appear in the underbar description after the live stream. We already have a lot of cool stuff down there, though, including but limited to all things Omni Coalition. Our various sources that we get for this history is some of these, like this, is from other source. So, links to the music in the background and a handful of other cool little nifty things. We're going to move on up here to 1699. HMS Roebuck, captained by William Dampier, landed at Shark Bay, Western Australia, on the first British scientific expedition to Australia. Oh, look at that.
Great name, Shark Bay.
Yeah.
I want to go swim in there.
No. 3 centuries ago, 1726, the Treaty of Alliance between Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI and the Russian Empire was signed at Vienna. And we're actually going to be talking about the Holy Roman Empire in the early 1800s. It's not a good thing for them. 1774, founder of the Shaker movement, Mother Ann Lee arrived in New York. Shaker movement? Like for salt and pepper or something? Like
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Forehead. What
Whoa.
the? I mean, like, is that just a bad drawing, or did she have an actual condition?
I don't know.
Believed by 19th century Shakers to be a psychometric portrait of Ann Lee. Okay. What's a Shaker?
It's got to be someone that's filled with the Holy Spirit or something. Yeah.
What's his face from Back to the Future? That was a terrible joke.
I didn't get it. Good. It went over my head.
Because he has like Parkinson's or something, right?
Oh, now. Oh,
yeah.
The actor.
Yeah.
I was going with the movie.
Well, let's see here. Shaker.
That's
movie.
what I get out of it.
Shaker
Holy
movement.
Spirit takes a hold
Shakers. Here we go. The United Society of Believers in Christ, second appearing, more commonly known as the Shakers, are a Millerian restorationist Christian sect founded in 1747 in England and then organized in the United States in the 1780s. They were initially known as Shaking Quakers because of their eclectic behavior during worship services.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so Shakers. So throw this link in there.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, you can also have powdered sugar for French toast. So. 1787 Constitution Convention in Philadelphia began debate on the first draft of the Constitution. Other source says 60 proof sheets of the Constitution of the United States of America were delivered to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1806.
So they're not talking alcohol 60 proof there, huh?
No. Well, they could have been drinking too. I mean,
yeah, that's possible.
I saw a video that was pretty good chance that they were always at least buzzed, and they're not even joking. Because they didn't have water purification and all that stuff. So they drank hard cider, and during breakfast and everything. I was watching. I watched random videos and everything, and I was on I was binge watching this one channel unintentionally for about a day and a half or so. And he was getting into the president's favorite diets, the president's this, the president's that. He gets into everything and all that stuff, and Andrew Jackson loves squirrel stew or something like that.
Okay.
But no, apparently George Washington's favorite meal was some kind of pancake covered in honey, and hard apple cider or something like that. Or whatever, and a lot of them drank a lot. But
yeah, it makes sense. Water wasn't too healthy for you.
Yeah, well, it is, but not if it's in stone pools or not.
Is the problem.
Yeah, you got to filter that stuff. Anyway, 1806. Here we go. Holy Roman Empire ends. It was described by Voltaire as, quote, "in no way holy nor Roman nor an empire," end quote. Emperor Francis II renounced the title, becoming instead the first emperor of Austria. So from other source here, it says Francis II, Holy Roman Emperor, declared the moribund empire to be dissolved, although he retained power in the Austrian Empire. So that's it. The end. The closing of a book. That's pretty big. You know?
Yeah, I wonder where their territory was.
Well,
How big did it extend?
Well, let's see. Holy Roman Empire map. Basically, like the.
All of that?
No, right here. There we go.
There we go.
This is later. This is like because there was the Roman Empire, which at one point went all the way around the Mediterranean. It was said that the Mediterranean was a Roman lake, or something like that. So that was Rome. But then at one point, like there was a schism or something. There was the Eastern and Western Roman Empire. The one on the west was its capital was Rome, of course. Yeah. The east it was Constantinople, and eventually the Western fell and everything and all that stuff, and the Eastern remained. But they weren't Rome. They were so it kept going. That eventually became the Byzantine Empire.
Oh, okay.
And then
that makes sense.
And then eventually Holy Roman Empire grew out of like Germany or something. So
it does say German Empire up there also.
Yeah.
What's that little brown area that cuts it off?
The Papal States.
Oh.
The Vatican.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The papacy, papal.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. 1815, a U.S. flotilla ended piracy by Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli. 1819, Norwich University was founded in Vermont as the first private military school in the United States. I'm going to see who's pinging me here. Okay. All right. 1821, first edition of Courrier des Pays-Bas, a newspaper published in Brussels. I'm going to image search that really quick. Just making sure to see, it doesn't appear that the background music is even picking up. So I'm going to actually increase the volume just a little bit. So give me one moment. It's a little too much right there. Okay, that should be okay right there. Anyway, where were we? Let's see here. Courier newspaper. Okay, let's look up this newspaper. No, not that one. This one. All right. Like it's in a book or something. Like I had images of newspaper earlier. Oh, here's something, but that looks Arabic. Brussels was not, or I guess that's Hebrew, maybe, or is Aramaic a Jewish language, or where's Aramaic from?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. What else do we got here? 1824, Battle of Junin. Simon Bolivar's army defeated the Spanish. So during the Peruvian War of Independence, Patriot forces led by Simon Bolivar defeated the Spanish Royalist army in the Battle of Junin. And then 1825, Bolivia gained independence from Spain, their national day. So the Bolivian Declaration of Independence was proclaimed. Is Bolivia named after Simon Bolivar? Because that was just 1 year after this.
Yeah.
Simon Bolivar, Bolivia, Bolivar, like yar. 1845, the Russian Geographical Society was founded in St. Petersburg. That's pretty cool. 1856, the Great Bell was cast for the Great Clock of Westminster, London, Big Ben. So, oh, there it is, right there. Did we? I missed that one. Oh, okay. 1819, Norwich University was founded in Vermont as the first private military school in the United States.
Ah.
So there it is. Yeah. 1819. I had to go back a little bit. Or did
Norwich, we did.
Oh, I did cover that?
Yeah, but you didn't finish it or something? Yeah, no, we did cover
it.
Norwich.
I guess
Norwich University. Yeah.
I guess maybe my brain shut off. But here's Big Ben. Like Big Ben isn't the name of the tower; it's the name of the bell in the tower.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Which we had a whole discussion and like you said something about like it's both the bell and the bell tower. It's like no, it's just the bell.
It is the bell.
Yeah. 1861, a Union military camp was established in Lexington, Kentucky, a neutral state at the time. That's not good. 1861, the British annexed Lagos in Nigeria, so Britain imposed the Lagos Treaty of Secession to suppress slavery in what is now Nigeria. Oh, okay, so that's a good annexation. 1861, the U.S. Congress passed the First Confiscation Act. I don't like that. Let's look this up here really quick. Confiscation Act of 1861. It was an act of Congress during the early months of the American Civil War. Okay, now I understand. Permitting military confiscation and subsequent court proceedings for any property being used to support the Confederate independence effort, including slaves. Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense. So, Confiscation Act of 1861. Throw this link in there really quick. 1862, the Confederate ironclad Arkansas was badly damaged in a Union attack. Other source says the Confederate ironclad, the CSS Arkansas, was scuttled on the Mississippi River after suffering catastrophic engine failure near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All right, one less ironclad for them. 1864, Confederate forces evacuated Fort Powell in Mobile Bay, Alabama. 6 years later, in 1870, Battle of Spearshyn, Prussia defeated France. So during the Franco-Prussian War, the Battle of Spearshyn was fought, resulting in a German victory. I think the Prussians, right there. You know, the Prussians, the Germans, the Holy Roman Empyreans, you know, all that area. 1870, Franco-Prussian War. The Battle of Worth resulted in a decisive German victory. So we have two battles of the same.
A lot of wars going on today.
Yeah. Well, like the second one is just from the secondary source, but you can see here, 1870. It both happened on the same day, same year, same war, two battles. Like, you know, and these are like just the ones I'm covering. There's a lot that I skipped. So 1890, future Hall of Fame pitcher Cy Young made his MLB debut, throwing a three-hitter for the Cleveland Spiders in an 8-1 win over the Chicago Colts at League Park in Cleveland. Young's first career error led to Chicago's only run.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah.
Now, the best pitcher in the league gets the Cy Young Award.
Yes. 1890, murderer William Kemmler became the first person executed by electric chair at Auburn Prison, New York. Yep, first by electric chair. And also, for football, it's the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like there's this. Here's a guy in the electric chair. Here's a chair. I don't want to depict. You can see it in a small image, but I'm not gonna click on them to bigger them because that's a gruesome sight. But we're gonna get to some really gruesome stuff here in a little bit. 1896, France annexed Madagascar. 1901, Kiowa landed in Oklahoma. Kiowa land in Oklahoma was open for white settlements, effectively dissolving the contiguous reservation. So, white moving in.
So what did they do with the Indians? They
further displacement.
Dissolved it.
Yeah, well, like they just took
moved them out.
Kind of like what all these data centers are doing. 1905, 26.7 centimeters of rainfall at Princeton, Indiana. This is their state record. What is that in inches? 26.7 centimeters to inches. Let's check this out here really quick. 10.5 inches. Okay, that's pretty deep. It's almost a foot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll start getting the bottom of my kneecap wet there. So, 908, St. Louis Cardinals Johnny Lush pitched a second career no-hitter in a 2-0 win over the Brooklyn Superbass. What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Change in MLB rules made this unofficial as the game was shortened by rain.
Johnny Lush? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a porn name.
A what?
A porn name.
What is that?
Pornography?
Oh, porn name. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get the word.
My name is Johnny Lush.
I was just thinking of a drunk.
Oh, yeah, that worked too. She shows the difference between you and I. The internet has really hurt me. In 1909, Alice Ramsey and 3 friends became the first women to complete a transcontinental automobile trip. That is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, we spoke about when they set off, actually, because I remember this.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so this is when they completed it.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, you know.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
when they started.
Because just yesterday, or the day, I think it was yesterday. No, it was 2 days before. 2 days ago. What's her face Benz or whatever.
Mercedes Benz, yeah.
Yeah,
Benz.
not a Mercedes. Before they merged, just Benz.
Yes.
909 or whatever did some long road trip and is considered the first road trip or whatever.
Yeah. And the woman got out and fixed the damn thing.
Yeah. Here we have another group of women going out. This is. Why don't they teach that in women's studies and women's history and all that stuff?
They may do it. Have you ever taken a women's studies class?
No, I have not. But something like that, I'm surprised is not more mainstream. 1910, New York City Mayor William J. Gaynor was seriously wounded in an assassination attempt. Yikes. 1914, Dennis Patrick Dow Jr. enlisted in the French Foreign Legion, becoming the first Canadian to fight in World War I. Yeah, because we didn't declare war until 1916. Or 1917, I think we declared war. In 1918, we actually started getting boots on the ground. So it took a while, but yeah, he was in the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
And they fought in North Africa and all that stuff.
They did.
And that's where what's his face Lawrence of Arabia
Yes.
was doing his thing and everything.
Yeah.
1914 as well, during World War I, Serbia declared war against Germany. Austria-Hungary declared war against Russia. And then from other source, World War I, Serbia declared war on Germany. Austria declared war on Russia. So like, we have one source saying both of those things, and another source saying both in one. It's kind of weird. 1914 as well, during World War I. A U-boat campaign. 2 days after the United Kingdom had declared war on Germany over the German invasion of Belgium, 10 German U-boats left their base in Heligoland to attack Royal Navy warships in the North Sea. 1 year later, 1915, the British landed more troops at Suvla Bay in the northern shore of Gallipoli in an effort to break the stalemate on the peninsula during World War I. And Gallipoli, man, like, you know what? I looked this up here. Gallipoli flare scene. Let's see if I can find this. Like, this is a campaign from Battlefield 1 on the Gallipoli Peninsula, but there's a lot of media and everything around this. I don't want to get copywritten or anything, but I just want to express how how big Gallipoli was. It ultimately was a Allied failure. Like right here, it was just depicting. Savage fighting continued for 9 months, but would ultimately result in a hard-won victory for the Ottomans. They held Gallipoli. Almost 100,000 Ottoman soldiers gave their lives while defending their homeland. From their ranks came the battle-proven leaders that would go on to found the Republic of Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah. For the first time, Australians and New Zealanders fought under their own flag. Tales of heroism and mateship were pivotal in forging their national identities. So out of the blood comes their, comes their roots.
Huge.
Yeah, no, Gallipoli, man. Like I'm trying not to tear up because I know, how historically significant that whole thing was, and a lot of people died ultimately for nothing. It's depicted in Gallipoli, starring a very young Mel Gibson. He was a runner. It's World War I, so it's not a good ending. I'm just going to say it that way. A very compelling story, and there's other media that doesn't come to mind right off the bat. But yeah, that's one of the campaign missions. You're in Gallipoli and everything. Anyway, moving on up to 1918, Ferdinand Foch became Marshal of France during World War I. It's a pretty big position there. 1919, this is an interesting name, Harry Butler made the first flight across a major body of water in Australia, delivering mail from Adelaide across Gulf St. Vincent to Midleton on the York Peninsula. Just as long as he's not the one who delivers my food.
Oh, God.
23, Gustav Stresemann was named Chancellor and Foreign Minister during riots and strikes in Germany. Yikes. But actually, look at him. He looks like he can handle it.
Yeah.
He looks like he's ready to fight. We also have Henry Sullivan became the third person and first Stadian to swim across the English Channel from Dover, England, to Calais in France in 27 hours and 25 minutes. So obviously he had to take a break somewhere, somehow. 26...
you ought to take a break in the water.
Well, I mean, maybe mark your position and then sleep in the boat and then go back over there, get back in and swim.
I just think you'd go 24 hours. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That seems like just way too much. Because you can drown.
Well, they're going to have boats and everything out there escorting them.
Doesn't mean they can get to him. He can go down and I don't know.
I mean, they come up. I'm sure they gave them fluids and food, and everything else.
Yeah, we're only speculating.
Yeah.
1 century ago, in 1926, Don Juan, starring John Barrymore, was released by Warner Brothers, the first feature-length film to utilize the Vitaphone sound-on-disc system with a synchronized musical score and sound effects. All right. 26 as well, Stadion Gertrude Erdely, at the age of 20, became the first woman to swim across the English Channel from Cap Grisnez, France, to Kingstown, England, in 14 hours and 39 minutes, setting a record for both males and females. Yeah, because the last one, that was 27 hours. She did it in 14 hours. You go, girl.
Yeah,
epic.
absolutely.
And this is very strange because we're going to be talking about swimming across the English Channel again. So obviously the second two were planned to coincide with Mr. Sullivan here because he set the first one.
Yeah.
Then there's this one, and then later on we're going to have a 12-year-old or something.
Whoa.
Yeah. 1929, Young Plan, which sought to settle German reparation debts after World War I, was agreed. 1930, the Supreme Court Justice John Forrest Carter disappeared in New York City. wonder if he was ever found, if his body was found or something. I don't know. Remains of balloon expedition of Solomon August Andreas to North Pole in 1897, found at Kievitz, Oya Spitzbergen. So I'm going to look.
Remains, that's not good.
Well, we spoke about this yesterday,
Yeah,
about his journal being found, so like you'll recognize this balloon here.
Well, they survived initially off of hunting bears.
Yeah, and then they resorted to cannibalism, and then they perished on that little ice shelf or something.
Yeah.
They found their camera and their journal and pieced things together, and ultimately I think they did find the bodies. So, 1932, first Venice Film Festival opened, the world's oldest film festival, epic. 34, U.S. troops left Haiti, which had been occupied since 1915, and where is Haiti? Is it in the Western Hemisphere?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's out there in the general area of Cuba and whatnot, all in there.
I keep getting it confused with an African nation. Like there's
No.
what's
It's off the coast of
South America?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
more off the coast
Yeah.
of Central America.
But yeah, they're probably having like a civil war or something with the Monroe Doctrine. The U.S. just puts their shoe into everybody's door. It's really annoying. 36, Canadian athlete Forrest Towns ran a world record of 14.1 seconds, I guess, in the semifinals of the 110-meter hurdles at the Berlin Olympics. He could not match the time in the final, but he did win the gold medal. 1936, Japanese athletes achieved a quinella in the triple jump in the Berlin Olympics. Nato Tajima won gold, and Masao Harada won silver. What's a quinella? Like the fourth thing?
Sure.
Or?
I'm not sure.
Quinella. Let's take this up. A bet in which the first two places in a race must be predicted, but not necessarily in the correct order. Compare with perfecta. Oh. So I guess they achieved a quinella. Why are people betting? Like, that's not cool. 37, Franco's artillery fired on Madrid. Yeah, Francisco Franco, Generalissimo, dictator, Spanish Civil War. 37, MLB overturned. New York Yankees 7-6 win over Cleveland Indians due to umpire error.
No.
Yep. The U.S. and the USSR signed a trade treaty. And I'm gonna look that up here really quick just to see like if I can find anything. Soviet Union, United States. It just tells us about the whole broad spectrum, not the specific treaty. I just want to know, like what it covered.
Yeah.
And what semantics, if anything was specific about that. If anybody wants to look that up, though, let us know in the comments section. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments? Nope. All right. So what else we got here? 1939, we have the first broadcast of the Dinah Shore Show on NBC Radio. Does that ring any bells at all?
The Dinah Shore Show, of course.
Oh, okay. What was it about?
It was like a what do you call it? She's the host, and they have different talents come out and do stuff.
Like a talent show or exhibition show, or
like a talent show, but with established. They're on stage and they come out and sing and dance and do different stuff.
So like an America's Got Talent, or like
yeah, something like that. I can't remember the whole thing.
Who's the next
But
Hollywood
yeah, it was
star?
big.
One of
I
these
know
shows?
that, but I don't remember it back in the 40s, obviously, or whatever it is.
Well, this is 39.
Yeah.
Like not even Mom was
that's
around
even
here.
the radio. I have no idea what the radio show
NBC
was.
Radio. Well, I mean, like if you know about the show, it's probably the same thing.
But the Diana Shore Show.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
1940, Estonia.
Diane Sullivan Show. Okay, something like that.
Okay. 1940, Estonia was annexed by the Soviet Union. And German occupiers in Belgium imposed censorship rules on filmmaking and exhibition. Of course they do. Those freaking Nazis. Mom's time. 1941, MLB Detroit Tigers pitcher Al Benton collected 2 sacrifices in an inning, an MLB record, and won 11-2 against the Cleveland Indians. 42, Hernan Goring proclaimed occupied areas, quote, thoroughly empty to plunder, end quote. Yikes. Monster. 42 as well, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands became the first reigning queen to address a joint session of the United States Congress. That's interesting. So, we're so used to that, with Queen Elizabeth II,
Yeah.
But, wow. Because it just says first reigning queen ever,
Yeah, first one to do it.
44, deportation of 70,000 Jews from Lodz, Poland to Auschwitz began. We also have all 1,200 Jewish death marchers from Lipakani, Moldavia have died. Pardon me, no disrespect, I had to sneeze, but that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I don't like covering this nasty stuff here, but if we're, and you know, believe me, like, you know, it's nasty. But if we're gonna not repeat history, we got to know of it.
Yeah, we can't
You know?
sugarcoat it.
Yeah. So, and speaking of not being able to sugarcoat it, this is one of the biggest not sugar-coated things of all time. 45. The atomic bomb was dropped on the Japanese city of Hiroshima by the US B-29 superfortress the Enola Gay. So during World War II, Hiroshima, Japan was devastated when the atomic bomb Little Boy was dropped by the United States B-29 Enola Gay. Around 70,000 people were killed instantly, and some tens of thousands later died in subsequent years from burns and radiation poisoning. So, you know, like, horrible,
Yeah.
you know, but on the alternative, you know, Loon, explain.
Well, as horrible it is, and you just feel terrible about it, that it was our country that did it, you can't look at it in today's world and look back. You have to look at what the need was, and it really saved not only Americans, but Japanese lives. Literally millions and millions of lives those two bombs ended up saving. And it's a horrible thing to look at it that way, but it's realistic too.
Especially when you take into account that one guy who was found up in like 72, like, you know, alone by that time.
Yeah,
like,
still fighting.
Yeah, still fighting. You know, and like there's
In the Philippines or something.
Yeah, I've seen the story. Like, it started off with like a small detachment, and I guess time went by. There was less and less of them dying of disease, this, that, or the other, whatever, defecting. You know, but like he lived off like, you know, like stealing from villages and everything. And he was like, you know, always in a hole or something. And they found him. Like, you know, they, like, you know, the military, whatever, government, like, you know, whoever it is that found him, they found him. And they're like, hey, the war ended like 20 years ago, man. And he's like, you know, I only answer to my CEO, which, thank the good Lord above, his CEO was still alive and, you know, was delivered to the island and got him to stand down. You know, pretty wild. And if he was that determined, how many other of hims were in mainland Japan if we had actually invaded? We would have probably had to damn near wipe them all out. You know, on their own land, they're not going to surrender. You know? So, as you know, as Loon said, as awful as this is, and like, I just want to show, and I'm not going to show this whole thing, but this is from an anime. A lot of people from the internet, you know, will recognize this. But this is pretty wild here. Let me lower the volume here. So it just shows them, like, you know, they're just out here hanging out. They're looking up in the air. They see a plane and all that stuff. Here we have the Enola Gay, you know, and they're, you know, communicating, dropping the bomb and everything. And a lot of people don't realize it wasn't just like they didn't drop it and hit the ground. It had a parachute to slow it down, so that way, and, you know, and this was especially the case. Let me pause this really quick. Especially the case with the test of the Star Bomba. The airplane had to get enough, you know, far enough away to not get hit by the air blast. You know, so, but, you know, just right here, you just see it going, you know, away. You know, like, absolutely chilling and horrendous. 8:15 in the morning, and I'm not going to play the rest of this because this gets incredibly brutal and graphic. But there's one, no, not there. There's one scene here, trying to find the actual building, without showing here. Yeah, there it is, right there. So let me just play this right here. Historians will recognize that building. Here's a scene. Where's the building? Here it is. Historians will recognize this building. You know, so, like, you know, this anime is pretty accurate in its depictions and everything. Here's the actual building right there. You know, but, like, you know, this is tremendous. Okay, so if anybody wants to look this up, I'm not going to leave a link to this because this is horrendous, but you can look this up: anime nuke scene, barefoot Jen. But there is one video. Well, you know, this is depicted in the Wolverine of 2013 when a nuke dropped and everything. But this, I just happened to find this earlier today, you know, after researching and everything. The ant walkers of Hiroshima. I'm not going to explain why they're called that, but ant walkers of Hiroshima. This too is graphic, not visually but audibly. But if you're interested in anything in history, you know, this is a watch. It's 25 and, you know, some odd minutes long. But yeah,
for the sake of history, I would advise to watch it. We're going to move on up to Loon's time.
Hey.
The U.S. In 1946 officially submitted to the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice. All right. 1948, a Swedish 1-2 in the men's 1500 meter at the London Olympics, with Henry Eriksson defeating teammate Lennart Strand by 0.6 seconds in a time of 3 minutes 49.8 seconds. 48 as well, Dutch super athlete Fanny Blankers-Koen won the 200 meter in 24.4 seconds at the London Olympics, becoming the first woman to claim 3 individual track and field gold medals at a Games, having already won the 100 meter and 80 meter hurdles. Wow. 17-year-old Stanian Bob Mathias scored 7,139 points to edge out Ignace Heinrich of France by just 165 points in the decathlon at the London Olympics. William Dries formed a socialist government, KVP/Social Democrats/CAT/Liberals, in the Netherlands. That's not good. 49, future Hall of Famer Luke Appling appeared in the MLB record 2,154th game as shortstop for the Chicago White Sox en route to 2,218. Okay. So, doing a lot of games there. 51, the National Museum of Racing opened in Congress Park in Saratoga Springs, New York. I'm going to image search this really quick. Here's one image, though. It shows here, this is, I believe, horse racing.
Yeah.
Because those are jockey uniforms. You have jockey statue.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was going to be for, like, car racing or whatever. Or just generally all. But this is all equestrian and everything. So, yeah. 51, we can get rid of that. 51, a typhoon flood killed 4,800 people in Manchuria. 52, St. Louis Browns veteran pitcher Satchel Paige, at the age of 46, became the oldest pitcher to win a complete shutout, 1-0 over the Detroit Tigers in 12 innings. Excellent. 1 year later, future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Ted Williams returned to the Red Sox from military service in Korea. Thank you for your service. Ended the abbreviated season with a .407 batting average. Wow, he literally comes out swinging from war. What a G, dude.
Oh, he's a great baseball player.
Yeah, great man. 53, future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger. We got that one. 56, after going bankrupt in 1955, the American national broadcaster Dumont Television Network aired its final broadcast, a boxing match from St. Nicholas Arena in New York, in the Boxing from St. Nicholas Arena series. 58, Stadium athlete Glenn Davis ran a world record 49.2 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles, breaking his own world record by 0.3 seconds in Budapest, Hungary. That's awesome. 58 as well, Law on Permanent Defense of Democracy, outlawing the Communist Party of China and banning 26,650 persons from the electoral list, was repealed in Chile. So now the commies have rights again. I mean, I like people to have rights, but I just don't like giving rights to people who want to take my rights away. I just don't like that. I don't know what to do. 1960, blah, blah, blah. Chubby Checker performed his version of Hank Ballard's The Twist on the Dick Clark Show, starting a worldwide dance craze.
Yeah, it was, too.
Not as crazy as the Sponge.
Baby, let's do the twist.
1960, the United Nations Security Council laid down the rules that allowed UN forces to enter Congo. Pretty self-serving there. Cuban Revolution, Cuba nationalized stadium and foreign-owned property in the nation. 61, British auto racer Sterling Moss scored his 16th and final Formula One victory in the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. 61 as well, first case of motion sickness in space reported. I mean, I don't know how you get motion sickness in space. I guess it's a lack of motion sickness.
Well,
it
could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
German S. Titov was the second Russian in space aboard Vostok 2 for 17 orbits. Of course, Yuri Gagarin on paper.
Yeah.
So. 62, Jamaica became independent after 300 years of British rule. Getting out of the United Kingdom. Good for you guys. Excellent. If only Britain will let go of Ireland and Scotland one day, maybe. We'll see. 63, Philadelphia NBA franchise changed the name from the Nationals to the 76ers based on the U.S. Declaration of Independence signed in Philadelphia in 1776.
That's right, they were the Washington Nationals. I forgot about that.
Yeah. 64, Pope Paul VI published encyclical Ecclesiam Suam. Let's look this up here really quick just to see what this is about. So, Ecclesiam Suam. So just put that there. And I don't want to type this out. I'm being lazy. So I'm just going to do this. But what was this about? Let's see here. In the opening words of the letter, Pope Paul refers to the church founded by Jesus as a, quote, loving mother of all men, end quote. He states that in light of the ongoing Vatican Council, he did not want to offer new insights or doctrinal definitions. He asked for a deeper self-knowledge, renewal, and dialogue. He also states that the church itself was engulfed and shaken by a tidal wave of change and was deeply affected by the climate of the world. In 1964, Vietnam. So, yeah. For further reading, this link will be, as I said, in the underbar after the live stream. 64, this one broke my heart here. Prometheus, the world's oldest tree at the age of 4,862 years old, was accidentally cut down in Nevada, United States.
Whoa.
Accident my ass. How do you screw that up? That's
a tree?
That's a really unique looking tree. Now apparently, it's of a genome, so it might be rather common tree over there, but that was it, right? The Prometheus tree right there.
Mm.
How do you accidentally cut that down? They did it on purpose, just to kill something precious. It's terrible. 1965, the Beatles released their 5th UK album, Help, from the film soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Pakistani soldiers crossed the line of control into Kashmir. U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act prohibiting voting discrimination against minorities into law. Good. 66, Salazar Bridge over the Tagus, the longest suspension bridge in Europe, open. And we have an image of that too. Yeah, look at that as a bridge with oh wow, look at that. It goes way inland, in order to get on it.
Oh,
See
yeah.
how tall it is.
Yeah.
It's way back there.
That's not part of the suspension, but yeah.
No, that's part of the actual to get onto it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, here's bridge-like qualities, and here's a picture of it to Big Build. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Industrial history, bridge over Tagus. Yep.
I've seen similar pictures of that of
the Golden Gate. Yeah. Huh. 66, U.S. citizens demonstrated against the war in Vietnam. Yep. 1967, future Baseball Hall of Fame third baseman Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles hit into an MLB record 4th career triple play. We also have the Minnesota Twins pitcher Dean Chance threw a perfect no-hitter against the Boston Red Sox, winning 2-0 in 5 innings before the game was called due to the weather. Now, what's the difference between a no-hitter, a perfect no-hitter, and a perfect game? This is a new term. Perfect no-hitter?
I've never heard of a perfect no-hitter.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
There's
a no-hitter and there's a perfect game.
Yeah, this Minnesota Twins is a perfect no-hitter. It says it
They
right.
can put it in there all they want. There's no such thing.
Well, I'm going to look this up. List of Major League Baseball no-hitters.
Yeah.
No-hitters and perfect games. Okay, yeah. Okay. So these people are just being worse than me with
So
sports
something
ignorance.
mistyped something. So it's like a typo.
Okay, so where is this? Right here. Let's see.
So what does it say? No. It says, what's the difference between a no-hitter
A
and
perfect no-hitter and a perfect game.
And yeah, your perfect no-hitter should be out of there.
Is no perfect no-hitter.
Someone put that in there. They just got screwed up.
There is no perfect no-hitter.
No.
So,
Should be, yeah.
was this a perfect game or a no-hitter? Question mark. I gotta look that up when I'm, making our website and everything. 1967 as well, Pope Paul the Sixth published the apostolic letter Pro Comporto San, or Sane, I guess. Let's look this one up really quick here. Pro Comporto Sane from the Vatican.va. So if anybody wants to read this, Pro Comporto, there we go, Sane. Put this link up in there. What else we got here? 1970, Festival for Peace concert was held at Shea Stadium, New York City, to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombing. Performers included Janis Joplin, Paul Simon, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Steppenwolf, Miles Davis, Johnny Winter, Herbie Hancock, Dionne Warwick, John Sebastian, the Rascals, and the Broadway cast of Hair.
Ah.
That's pretty cool that we, commemorating everything, not celebrating it, but commemorating. Yeah. 72, Hank Aaron hit his 660th and 661st home runs for the Atlanta Braves, breaking Babe Ruth's MLB record for most home runs with one team. 5 more, and he has the number of the beast there. 1 year later, Roberto Clemente, Warren Spahn, Billy Evans, Monte Irvin, Mickey Welch, and George High Pockets Kelly were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. High Pockets.
Yeah, that's an old one.
Well, why was he called that?
It's a nickname.
Oh,
I
know what it is. I was just wondering why.
I don't know why. It was before my time. That's an oldie.
I mean, if somebody introduced one of their friends as French kisser, I wouldn't want to know them, you know? 1973, Stevie Wonder was involved as a passenger in a car crash. Well, if he was driving, this would make more sense. In North Carolina, it went into a 4-day coma. So, I mean...
For those who don't know, Stevie Wonder's blind.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's why he wears those glasses.
Yeah.
Although there is a weird conspiracy. There's a video of him, like, apparently noticing something. And I don't think he's 100% blind. Like, I think he's like, mostly blind. But he does have some vision, officially. Like it's not a secret.
I have no idea.
So that part is the conspiracy. But, yeah. I find it personally, hilarious that they had to... that they put in as a passenger. It's like, well, if you know the guy, it's kind of... But that's probably why, because not everybody knows about Stevie Wonder.
True.
So, 1974, explosion and fire destroyed Great Northern Railroad Yard in Wenatchee, Washington. And there's an image of it right there. There's a whole rail yard. There's the smoke from the fire.
Yeah.
And wow, it looks like it's actually a wildfire.
Yeah.
Looks like it's up in the hills and everything.
Yep,
so
right on up the hills.
Almost as well. Maybe it came from the thing, but it went up the hills. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. What else do we got here? 1976, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto laid the foundation stone of Port Qasim, Karachi. All right. 79, Marcus Hooper, at the age of 12, became the youngest person to swim across the English Channel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
he
you're
is.
Talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually
Great.
image
12?
search this. Yeah, like that is like bad parenting.
I was just gonna say, where was his parents?
I mean,
That kid's 12. Come on.
well, probably like a
That looks like he could be 12 there.
they probably like juiced him or something. Like, I mean, some
Let's
parents.
hope not.
Well, if they're letting him swim across the English Channel, they're already not good parents in my book. Like, I don't care how awesome your kid is. You don't do that at 12. You're a kid. 1980, University Administration declared 5 Pac-10 schools ineligible for conference titles and postseason play due to transcript and curriculum abuses. 81, Argentina ex-president Isabel Perón was freed. Wonder why they were in prison. Like, was it a coup d'etat? Was it a political prisoner? Was it legitimate? Perón.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Peróns. Not the
Argentina.
Yeah, not the best people. 81, NASA launched the U.S. Navy communication system Fitlattelecom 5, but it failed after being damaged during flight. 365 days later, 1982, 3 African National Convention members were sentenced to death in South Africa. WQXI in Atlanta was the first to use the Heritage Corporation AM stereo system. All right. I'm going to look that up here really quick.
No idea what it is. It's a sound system.
AM stereo. Okay, I guess a type of sound. Okay. Oh. 83, bomb planted by Kohato and Sezui, the armed wing of ANC, the African National Convention. Like, that's not good. Exploded at a synagogue in Johannesburg, South Africa. Dude, ANC, stop. Like, I mean, all of that is over with, but like, at the time, if I was alive during this, I would slowly lose my support of the ANC, because once you start doing this, I mean, synagogue, mosque, church, whatever, you start blowing up bombs, I don't care how right you are, you're wrong now. There's no need for this. First NFL exhibition game in Europe, Minnesota Vikings defeated St. Louis Cardinals 28-10 at London's Wembley Stadium.
I believe they go over there now, but they're not an exhibition. They're actually a league game.
84, after stadiums Roger Kingdom and Greg Foster equal the Olympic record in the semifinals of the 110-meter hurdles in Los Angeles, Kingdom defeated Foster in the final with a new games record of 13.20 seconds. Nice. Canadian athlete Carl Lewis won the long jump with a jump of 8.54 meters, his second of 4 gold medals at the Los Angeles Games.
Yeah, he dominated.
Yeah. 1985, MLB Players Association stated a mid-season baseball strike lasting 1 day. That seems kind of weird. 86, Baltimore's Jim Dwyer and Larry Sheets and Rangers' Toby Hura O'Hara hit MLB record 3 Grand Slams in Texas 13-11 win. Phil Katz released archiving utility PKRC for DOS. For DOS, the operating system, whatever this is. Low pressure system that redeveloped off the New South Wales coast dumped a record 328 millimeters or 12 inches, 1 foot of rain in a day on Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. That's a substantial amount there. Ayo's time. Can I get through my life in 9 minutes?
Iffy.
Yeah, well, we have 1988 Oakland A's outfielder Jose Canseco became the 11th MLB player to record 30 home runs and 30 steals in a season. Who was the first, though? 1988 as well, Rich Kosage became the second player in MLB history to record 300 career saves as the Cubs defeated the Phillies 7-4. Who was the first for that too?
Yeah.
The Tompkins Square Park police riot in New York City spurred reform from the NYPD, the New York Police Department, which was responsible for the melee that transpired the night of August 6th through 7th. It's tonight. So. 89, Boston Red Sox retired Baseball Hall of Fame left fielder and first baseman Carl Yastrzemski is number 8.
Yastrzemski.
Yeah.
Carl Yastrzemski. I can't even say it.
Okay.
You were pretty close, though.
89, pilot union told pilots they can cross Eastern Airlines picket lines. 20 former South African political prisoners in defiance of the restriction order launched a campaign against apartheid laws. All right. 89 as well, revival and musical review O Calcutta closed at Edison Theater in New York City after 5,959 performances. Broadway's longest running musical review.
Wow.
Which is probably, that record has been broken, I think, more recent times by Cats or Hair or something.
That's not days, that's performances.
Yeah, I'm talking
That's still a long time.
I'm talking about performances.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm talking about days, I don't know. But, like, I think that record has been beaten. I'm not sure, though.
That's 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. 1990, Jim Palmer and Joe Morgan were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. United Nations Security Council voted 13-0 with 2 abstentions, Cuba and Yemen, to impose economic sanctions against Iraq. All right. Cuba and Yemen. Weird. Well, Yemen. Cuba because they're communists, and communists don't have anything going on between the years. At least those who think it's the answer. 91, stadium softball pitcher Debbie Doom. What a name, Debbie Doom. How do you like to be married to Debbie Doom?
The only worst one is Debbie Downer.
Yeah, she is a downer. Struck out 17 in her second consecutive perfect game at the Pan American Games in Havana, Cuba, defeating Nicaragua 8-0. Second consecutive perfect game?
Yeah.
Dude. Freaking Debbie Doom, like, is the Doom.
She was Doomsday for the other team.
The Doom lady. You know, we have the Doom guy, and then we have Debbie Doom.
The old softball windmill pitch.
Wow. 91, Tim Berners-Lee released files describing his idea for the World Wide Web and debuted www as a publicly available service on the internet.
Ah.
You know, it's not really on. Here it is, right there. You know, if you look on any URL, there you go. World Wide Web, www.
Always there.
Yep. 91, Takako Doi, chair of the Social Democratic Party, became Japan's first female Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Oh, okay.
And actually, there's the guy right there. The World Wide Web. So.
He looks like a brainy guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he absolutely does look like a dweeb, a nerd, a dork, like what are other...
Brainiac.
Yeah, a Sheldon. I'll have you know, I'm nothing like Sheldon. 1992, the U.S. track team swept the medals in the long jump at the Barcelona Olympics as Carl Lewis won gold with a jump of 28 feet, 5.5 inches, or 8.67 meters. Mike Powell won silver, and Joe Green won bronze. Wrestler Bruce Baumgartner became the first Canadian to win in 3 straight Olympics, capturing the gold in the 286-pound freestyle division in Barcelona. 93, Pope John Paul II published encyclical Veritatis Splendor. Look this up here really quick. So, let's see here. I get the link. I already got the name, so I can put that there. Let's see here. Encyclical. Let's put that there. We can do that. Get rid of the S. We can put in the capitals. You know, copy and paste the link. Make the space. Let's see here. It expresses the position of the Catholic Church regarding fundamentals of the Church's role in moral teaching. The encyclical is one of the most comprehensive and philosophical teachings of moral theology in the Catholic tradition. It was promulgated on August 6, 1993, as we read here. Cardinal Georgios
Codier was influential in drafting the encyclical, as was Servais Theodore Pincayers as professor of moral theology at the University of Freiburg. Okay. Usually, like, you know, it seems like the popes are the ones who wrote this, but this seems like a collaborative effort. It was really cool. And good old Grandpa Pope, Pope John Paul II, you know. I'd say one of the greatest popes of all times, but he's not without his own skeletons in the closet. But, I mean, he experienced the German and Soviet invasion, you know.
As a kid.
You know, as a kid of his country, Poland, during World War II. He was already, like, 16 or something. He was like a young man, or when was he born? Let me look at this. 1920. Yeah, so he was 19 years old, dude. He was actually of fighting age, which is even more terrifying. So, yeah. Anyway, 1995 or 94, Algerian Muslim fundamentalists threaten schools and universities. It's always from this religion. You know, I've never heard of Jews, you know, like threatening people, Christians threatening people. It's always the Islamists. It's weird. 95, Cleveland's major league sports franchises, NFL Browns and MLB Indians, played in Cleveland for the first time. Both lost. White Sox 5, Indians 1, Giants 19, Browns 13 exhibition. 95, Miguel Rodriguez Orihuela, co-founder of the Cali cartel, was arrested in Cali after being betrayed by his bodyguard Jorge Salcedo. California? Like what? It just says Cali.
I know. I was trying to figure that out. I have a feeling it's down in Mexico somewhere.
Hey, let's look this up here. Cali, Mexico. Is there a Cali, Mexicali? You know.
That's true.
But that's not Cali.
No.
I'm just gonna look this up here. Miguel Rodriguez Orihuela. No. Give me the freaking. Where's the? There it is. Okay. Spouses, children, I don't care. Blah blah blah. Extradition.
Cali cartel. So it's got to be. It got to be California then.
Neighborhood in Cali, Colombia. Oh,
Colombia.
Cali, Colombia.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. 95 as well. Thousands gathered in Hiroshima for the 50th anniversary of the atomic bombing of the city. Yep. Actually, it's kind of weird. In 19 years, it'll be 100 years since it. Isn't that mind-blowing?
Yeah.
19 years, 1 century. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 96, Canadian punk rock band The Ramones performed the last time at the Palace in Hollywood, California. Korean Air Flight 801 crashed in the United States territory of Guam, killing 228 people. 96, NASA announced that life may have existed on Mars after examining meteorite ALH 84001, discovered in Antarctica and believed to be from Mars. It contained evidence of primitive life forms. I'm going to image search this really quick just to see
I remember something about that.
Yeah, this rock here. So apparently, allegedly, you know, maybe, I don't know. 96, U.S. President Bill Clinton signed a new bill imposing sanctions on non-U.S. companies that invest over $40 million a year in the energy sectors of Iran or Libya. 97, Microsoft announced it will invest $150 million in Apple Computer Inc. Dude, this is like, you know, in your face, screaming at you that these companies are in bed together. They're not rivals. They're not in competition with each other. They just provide two different things. But, you know, in all, everything is owned and controlled ultimately at the top by one corporation. Like, not everything in the world, but, like, you know, most of, like, you go to Sonic, you go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you go to this, you go to that, and everything. Most of these fast food places, like, they advertise that, you know, oh, blah, 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 like, you know, our competitors, they're not competitors, they're under the same umbrella. Like people think that they're supporting...
Microsoft put in the works to for the computer, the Apple computer to function. I mean,
yeah.
You know, they're kind of partners in that way.
Well, didn't Microsoft also steal the operating system that was Windows?
Something, or he said, I don't care. He tried to warn him to patent it. He says, I don't care, so he took it.
Yeah, well, I mean, did he take it or was he given to him? And we were given some BS story to think that they are enemies, but they're actually in bed together to find...
No, they were friends at one time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they continued that forever.
Well, I think that they did, and I think that all the rivalry, it's all show and dance to get people to get divided over frivolous things and to spend more money on crap, you know?
Anyway, 1997, newly established NHL franchise Nashville Predators named Barry Trotz as inaugural coach, lasting 15 seasons and 1,196 regular season games. That's a great inaugural coach there. 97, Sri Lanka set a world record of 952 for 6 in the first cricket test against India in Colombo. Sanath Jayasuriya scored 340. Roshan Mahanama scored 225 in the record partnership of 576. Whatever that means. 97, career air flight 801 crash at Nimitz Hill, Guam, killing 229 of the 254 people on board. Yikes. 99, Tony Gwynn went 4 for 5 and collected his 3,000th MLB hit as the San Diego defeated the Expos 12-10 at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. 2001, two-time champion Marion Jones was DQ, disqualified, and had her string of 42 consecutive 100-meter final victories snapped by Zana Penchiksevich's block of Ukraine at the World Athletics Championships in Edmonton, Canada. Dang, she Thanos'd her ass. 2001 as well, airway fire incident. 28 mentally ill persons tied to a chain were burned to death at a faith-based institution at Irwadi, Tamil Nadu. What did I just read?
Faith-based.
Holy crap! What? There's so many levels to the disgustingness of what I just read.
God.
I don't even know where to start with my offense.
That's horrible.
Yeah, horrifying. Oh yeah, and it's telling me to show a screenshot. So, I forgot to take the screenshot, but I'll bring it up on my secondary source right now because this is from the secondary source of 2001. Oh, come on, don't do this. You loaded things just fine a second ago. Come on, load, you Fig Newton, you know. Okay, here we go. This is 2001.
Yeah.
So here it is, right here, 2001 Irati fire incident. So let me put this up here, just so that way people can see it. Confirm. What language is that at the top there that you see?
I can't see on my glasses.
It's Islam.
Okay.
So that's a religious institution. So Islam chained 28 mentally ill persons at, a faith-based institution, Islam, and burned them to death. Gee, what a peaceful and loving religion, aren't they? Why are we letting them in our country? 2002, look at Spain. 2002, 32-year-old reliever Bob Nen became the 16th and youngest closer to record 300 career saves as he protected the Giants' 11-10 lead against the Cubs. 2006, Canadian children's program Blues Clues concluded its 10-year run on this channel's name, which I think it stands for something horrible about God in Latin, which I don't even want to...
Blues Clues, I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember Blues Clues. But yeah, the channel, it means something very nefarious in Latin, so I'm not going to read that. But yeah, concluded its 10-year run on that
So it started in
TV
96,
channel.
so yeah, that was about the age
Cable
of you watched
channel.
it, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I never grew up with Blues Clues. I was, by 96, I don't know.
You were
Well,
9 years old. I don't know
yeah.
how young it is, I just remember
Yeah.
the name.
Well, I mean, I used to
It's
watch
a cartoon,
this,
right?
Yeah, it is. Well, it was a cartoon with a live-action main character, Steve.
Oh, okay, then I don't
They
remember.
superimposed. Well, here, I'll just show you really quick a screenshot. Blues. They put a guy over. This is a more modern version. That's not the original guy. That's all CGI. But where's original? Blues
I got
Clues?
what you're saying, though.
Oh, here we go. That's still not the original guy. That's 2000. Hold on a second. Blues Clues original. There's been a lot of remakes of it. There's the original, I think. So, but yeah, it's a cartoon. But the chair was real, and they mixed animation with live action.
Oh,
It was really interesting. But I used to watch this cartoon, channel back in the day. But then one day I was flipping through the channels, and I found Dexter's Laboratory on Cartoon Network, and then that became my channel.
Oh, okay.
That was all cartoons all the time. This other channel here had live action stuff, which Roundhouse, Salute Your Shorts.
That's all. I remember the name. I don't know why then.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
Those shows were live action. They were funny and all, but I wanted cartoons, so I
Yeah.
became a Cartoon Network kid. Anyway, 2006, for an MLB record 11th time in his career, Padres closer Trevor Hoffman recorded 30 or more saves in the season,
Wow.
surpassing the record set by Lee Smith, baseball's all-time saves leader. Not anymore. 2008, a military junta led by Mohammed Ould Abdel Aziz staged a coup d'etat in Mauritania, overthrowing President Sidi Ould Chiklag Abdelhamid. We also have Access 31 TV stopped broadcasting in Perth, Western Australia. Why? It's kind of weird. 2010, flash floods across a large part of Jammu and Kashmir, India, damaged 71 towns and killed at least 255 people. 2011, a helicopter containing members of Navy SEAL 6 was shot down in Afghanistan, killing 38. So SEAL Team 6. Not the same exact guys, but the same team members of the people who went and got bin Laden, allegedly. So. Other source says war in Afghanistan, a United States military helicopter was shot down, killing 30 Stadium Special Forces members and a working dog, 7 Afghan soldiers, and 1 Afghan civilian. It was the deadliest single event for the United States in the war of Afghanistan. The war in Afghanistan, yeah. So right here it said the primary source making it sound like it was all Navy SEAL operatives, but other source said that one of them was a working dog. I'm not sure if that counts. But the Afghan soldiers and the Afghan civilians certainly count. So, 2012, a large fire erupted at a Chevron oil refiner in Richmond, Ohio, injuring 6 employees. I'm going to look this up here really quick. That wasn't the picture, but yeah, that looks haunting.
Ooh.
So, scary. Out of a movie, Backdraft or something, man. So, 2012, Mount Tongariro, New Zealand, erupted for the first time in a century. That's 100 years. NASA's Curiosity rover landed on the surface of Mars. Pretty cool. 1 year later, 2013, 1 person was killed and 4 were injured in a hot air balloon crash in Montbovin, Switzerland. That's unfortunate. 18 people were killed and 55 were wounded by a car bomb explosion in Damascus, Syria. 25 people were killed and 60 were wounded by a series of car bombs in Baghdad, Iraq. And an alleged chemical weapons attack on Damascus, Syria, was claimed by Syrian rebels. So these guys, unrelated, but this all happened in 2013. 3 of the 4 were terrorist actions, all on the same day in 2013. Horrifying. 2015, an alleged chemical weapons attack on Damascus. We got that one. That's 2015. Stadium comedian Jon Stewart hosted a late night talk and satirical news program, Daily Show, for the last time. You were the best host of that show, Mr. Stewart. Your replacement was crap. So, 2015, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inaugurated the Suez Canal expansion at a ceremony in Ismailia. All right, that's pretty cool. Suez Canal getting expansions. 2015 Republican presidential nomination race began with a debate among 7 lower-ranked candidates in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the power of language. Primary source calls them 7 lower-ranked. Other source called them 7 lesser-ranked. It means the same thing, but this just stings.
It's kind of lousy. They're all running for president, but less popular. Should have been. Not a ranking, but a less popular group. There's too many to put on the stage all at once.
What people need to do is they need to truly vote for the heart. Don't vote for the lesser of 2 evils. Don't get caught up in the bipartisan lie. Vote third party. Don't think of it as voting, as throwing your vote away. And for the love of all things that is holy, if anything, do not vote against other people. Vote for what you want. Don't use your vote as a weapon. Otherwise, what's your problem,
Of course, that's the year Trump did win the election.
Well, I mean,
He came out of that.
I was friends with several people who voted for Hillary Clinton, voted for Biden, and voted for Kamala to vote against Trump. It's not because they supported Clinton or Kamala or Biden. They actually didn't, but they just didn't like Trump, so they voted. They turned their vote into a weapon. A vote is a very beautiful thing, and. To weaponize it is it's evil, If that's the way you work, then go live in frickin' North Korea. You don't belong here, Vote for what you believe in.
Even if you have to write it in.
Yes, like Vermin Supreme, Well, what are you saying?
No.
Yeah.
You shut me up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, yes, I remember that well.
Remember Vermin Supreme?
You were voting for him, yes.
Yeah. 2015, we have the world's largest pinball tournament in Pinburg. Is that a real... I guess that's the name of the thing. It took place in Pittsburgh. Okay. So, it's called Pinburg. With 700 machines took place in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Here's just an image of the floor. Look at all that.
Good grief.
Yeah. I looked this up earlier looking for... there's that right there.
but like some of these shots, it doesn't show the scope. This is just someone's collection in here. Maybe that's one edge of it. Like, I want, like, there it is. Oh my god, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a collection. That's not even what I was reading.
Wow.
That's just somebody's collection.
Good grief.
Discover the world's largest pinball machine collection and the man behind it. Wow. Largest pinball. How many machines does this guy have? 1950s, 1960s. Are you not going to tell me? Continue reading. Go away. Let's see here. Joining over the years, yada yada. I'm not seeing any number.
That's crazy. That's the one thing you should give us.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a video to watch that I'm not going to watch, so, yeah, oh well. Yeah, if anybody can discover the number, let us know in the comment section below. 2015, a suicide bomb attack killed at least 15 people at a mosque in the Saudi city of Abha. And like, here's my rule of thumb when it comes to horrible things. I don't cover like every terrorist. I cover very few terrorist activities. I only cover weird stuff. I only cover 100 and above, and I only cover if like, a religious or something important gets attacked. I don't care if it's a mosque, a synagogue, a church, a temple, anything like that people hold sacred should be respected. And if you don't respect it, then why don't you go like take a long walk off a short pier, 2016, Australian women's 4x100 meter freestyle relay team of Emma McKeon, Brittany Elmsley, Bront Campbell, and Kate Campbell set a new world record of 3 minutes 30.65 seconds to win gold ahead of the U.S. and Canada at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Epic. We also have Hoang Duong Vinh of Vietnam scored 202.5 points to win the gold medal in the men's 10-meter air pistol at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, Vietnam's first ever gold medal in any Olympic event. It was an air pistol of all things. Like, I wasn't even born yet, but that's giving me flashbacks. 2016 as well, Hungarian swimmer Katinga Hosszú set world record 4 minutes 26.36 seconds to win the gold medal in the women's 400 meter individual medley at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Super Rugby final, Westpac Stadium, Wellington Hurricanes won their first Super Rugby title with a 20-3 victory over the Lions from Johannesburg. 2018, Chicago police appealed for more help after 66 people were shot in the city in one weekend.
Wow.
Well, I mean, nobody reports black on black crime. Like,
it's in August, a lot of heat.
Yeah, well, I mean, like actually, that's really interesting that you bring it up. I forgot what the name of the movie, but it involves some woman being abducted, and like she had like a burner phone or something, so she was able to call the police without like needing a signal or whatever. Like it somehow she was able to call the police from the trunk and everything. But like at the beginning of the movie. This was actually like one of the main characters. The main character is the dispatch operator, and then the victim. So you switch between those two. Like those are the two main stories and everything because they talk to each other. So this was her first day. She was being told in orientation, it's getting into the summer hots. People are getting hot under the collar, and it is a psychological thing. Hotter people, more quick to fly off the handle, more aggressive, because
everybody's out because it's hot.
Yeah, yeah. So that was actually brought up at the early scene in the movie, like within the first 30 seconds or something. It's just very interesting. The movie itself is really interesting. It's edge on your seat, nail biting, so it's not for the faint of heart, but it is a very interesting movie. 2018, Facebook. Apple, YouTube, and Spotify removed conspiracy theorist Alex Jones from their platforms. And conspiracy theory in itself is a conspiracy. It was devised by, I think, the CIA, maybe FBI, one of these government organizations, but I think it was the CIA. It's usually these people. But they, invented the concept of ridiculing publicly people who think outside the box.
Yeah.
And everything. So now they have everybody doing the government's work,
And the question is, were they working hand in hand with the government?
Well, there obviously are some plants and some moles, so yeah, but that's how it all starts. But now, everybody's so quick, oh, I don't believe that's a conspiracy. Okay, cool, you don't believe it, that's wonderful. But why are you so averse to looking into it?
Are you worried that we might be right and you just don't want to be proven wrong, or because you have a big ego, or are you afraid? Like if we're wrong, if we're wrong, we're wrong. You really think doomsayers enjoy the stuff that they say? No. If we're wrong, cool, we're stupid. If we're right, we're all in trouble. So in the very least, at least look it up. Because we're not saying this for our case. We're saying this for all of our cases. We might be crazy, but after everything the past 5 some odd years, especially from 2020 and on, the only difference between the conspiracy theory and the actual truth, the reality, is about 6 months. Everything that we're finding, that all these nut jobs are saying, ivermectin, oxychloroquine, this, that, the other, about this event, about that event, all that stuff, everything's turning out to be true. So we don't sound so crazy anymore now, do we? So maybe you should start entertaining our ideas, not because you think that we're true, but because we might be right, and this is in your best interest as well. I'd rather be crazy. I'd rather be stupid. I'd rather be wrong. Believe me.
What else we got?
No. 2018, PepsiCo CEO Indra Nooyi announced she will step down. All right. There was another point I wanted to make up. We're already 16 minutes out of our hour here, so we got to keep this going and wrap up the show here. 2018, Saudi Arabia's state airline suspended direct flights to Toronto and expelled ambassador after Canada called for release of detained activists for civil and women's rights. Yep. Don't forget, Saudi Arabia gave sovereign citizenship to a robot before they gave them to women, if they even have yet. 2018 as well, South Sudan peace accord signed between South Sudanese President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar in Sudan, attempting to end 5 years of civil war. Awesome. 2019, a quarter of humanity is running out of water, with 17 countries under extreme water stress, including Cape Town, Los Angeles, and Bangalore, according to a report by the World Resources Institute. I don't like our city being in that list.
Oh, no.
2019 as well, Barney's New York filed for bankruptcy amid figures showing that 7,567 U.S. retail stores have closed so far in 2019 compared to 5,864 in 2018. So yeah, the economy was already not doing too hot, and then the pandemic hit and everything went and took a crap. 2019 as well, lawyer representing 800 Boy Scouts identified 350 sex abusers within Boy Scouts of America, saying, quote, it's the largest child stuff. Let me see if I can actually find it. I don't want to read this word. Actually, that's not even from primary source. It was removed from primary source. So, okay. But this word, Ring on Earth. Yikes. The Philippines declared a national dengue epidemic, dengue fever, with 622 people killed and 146,000 cases so far in 2019. That is a problem. U.S. government imposed wide-ranging sanctions on the Venezuelan governments. 2020, Kung Flu detected cases in Africa surpassed 1 million with 21,983 deaths. Fearmonger, fearmonger, fearmonger. Trust the science, I plead the fifth. I hope that guy gets freaking, charged with treason. He has been involved directly or indirectly in more deaths than the Holocaust. Anthony Fauci. I don't even want to say what I want to see done to him. 2020, the U.S. COVID-19 death toll could reach 300,000 by December 1st, with about 70,000 lives saved if masks are worn consistently, according to a University of Washington study. And what did they say about the masks and everything? What did they say about the masks? Later on, about the holes being so big that viruses can dance through them.
Hold hands and
it's all bullshit.
Dance right through and not even notice the
It's all bullshit. Yeah. People are finally figuring that out. Once again, what's the difference between conspiracy and reality?
Perception.
No, 6 months. Here we go. We got that one. 2021 as well. Faith Kipyegon of Kenya retained her Olympic 1,500 meter title and an Olympic record of 3 minutes 53.11 seconds at the Tokyo Olympics. Excellent. Jamaican 100-200 meter champion Elaine Thompson-Herah claimed her third track gold medal of the Tokyo Olympics as part of the winning Jamaican 4x100 relay team. Another hurrah right there. Hurrah. Her last name is Hurrah, so another hurrah.
Yeah.
23, the Barbie film passed to $1 billion at the global box office. Its director, Greta Gerwig, was the first solo female filmmaker to achieve this. I think that's all lies, so that way they can push the,
$1 billion.
I don't think it did. I think that's a lie to push the agenda of the feminist and everything and all of that
Let's go to the Barbie Museum.
Yeah. Klaus Barbie, the Butcher of Lyon. 2023, former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan was convicted of illegally selling state gifts and sentenced to 3 years. Doesn't seem like enough. In 2024, Kamala Harris picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, also known as Elmer Fudd, as her vice presidential running mate for the U.S. presidential elections.
That was a horrible pick.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot. And freaking, yeah. 2024 as well, Nobel Prize winner Muhammad Yunus was chosen to lead Bangladesh's interim government after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced to flee the country. I see problems with that. And last but not least, Ukraine began a surprise and counteroffensive assault on Russia's Kursk region with 1,000 troops and tanks, one of its largest assaults on Russian soil. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar description below for any links that you may find interesting. These links that we've gathered will appear down there in about 5 or so minutes after the end of the show. So, stay tuned and refresh a little bit. Anyway, what code word should people give in the comments section? Let us know that they're still watching up until this time.
Atomic bomb.
Oh yeah, atomic bomb. Put that in the comments down there. Let us know you're still watching. Anyway, a lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion between two sources. We have gone through all 37 pages of this document in an hour and 21 minutes. But yeah, for let's see here. For your dose of Baddest Events Daily, we stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am AO Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Where's the thing? Here's the thing, and here, and in here.